Honestly, with everything going on around Blackpink's upcoming tour, I've been sitting here trying to make sense of it all, and it's just not adding up. It's getting harder and harder to picture a future where the girls are still operating as a full group. There's this weird cloud of silence hanging over everything. We're less than a month out from the tour, and still not a single proper update on new music, a teaser, or even a rehearsal clip. Nothing. For a group of this size, that kind of silence speaks volumes. The only real hint we've gotten that something's going on came from Rosé at the Met Gala.
I'm really excited to see the girls. I was just with them in the studio in Korea.
Now, don't get me wrong, that sounds promising. But that interview happened when the tour was only 2 months away, and they were still recording? That's a super tight window. If the company announced the tour back in February and you're still in the studio finalizing tracks in May, it kind of makes you wonder how fully formed the concept is. It leaves me wondering how much of this tour was YG knowing fans would buy the tickets without second thought and preparing for nothing more than that. The whole thing feels rushed. And let's not forget how messy the Born Pink World Tour ended up being. The last thing Blinks deserve is to be put through another Born Pink era.
Here she go! Here she go!
And if that wasn't enough to make you to question anything, the tour title got announced, being called Deadline.
I'm having a fucking panic attack right now. I need to calm the fuck down because I'm having a panic attack right now because I'm so fucking mad.
Even if we try to brush off how intense that sounds, it's hard to ignore the implication. Something is ending, or at least feels like it is. Whether this title is meant to be symbolic or literal, it only adds to the unease. There's a lack of transparency here, and YG is no stranger to vague, drawn-out rollouts, but something is off about this one. What really pushed me to make this video, though, is the recent news that YG is gearing up to debut a new girl group with 4 members.
명을 이미 확정해 놓은 상태고요.
At first, he tried to play it off like the number of members was just coincidence.
지금 제 눈에 보이는 이 4명의 조합이 가장 좋아 보여서 4명을 선택하고 이제 굳이 뭐 4에 대한 숫자에 대한 그런 큰 의미를 갖고 있지는 않습니다.
But then YG doubled back and said that having more members would interfere with Baby Monster's dynamic.
6명, 5명은 사실 베이비몬스하고도 색깔이 좀 겹치는 것 같고.
So which is it? You can't say the number of members doesn't matter and then immediately explain why it does. It feels like déjà vu. We saw this exact pattern when 21 slowly got phased out right before Blackpink debuted. And now, with Blackpink's consistency as a group up in the air, it feels like we're watching the same story play out again. In my opinion, I think YG is scrambling right now. The girls are thriving individually. They've proven they don't need the group to stay relevant. They're booked, busy, and achieving huge things on their own. So when you look at the timing of this tour being right after all their solo releases, it just doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel like something they wanted to do. It feels like something they had to do. Whether it's to fulfill contract requirements or keep the revenue flowing, it's clear that this comeback is about obligation, not passion. And when you think about how important Blackpink is to YG financially, it makes sense. During their contract renewal talks, YG's stock took a nosedive just from the uncertainty of the girls renewing. That tells you everything you need to know about how much YG depends on them. But instead of investing in their future or treating them with the respect they've earned over the years, YG is pulling out the same tired move, debuting a new girl group to reset things when times get tough. It's like clockwork. We saw it with 2NE1, and now I believe we're watching it with Blackpink. Ultimately, there's no replacing Blackpink. There just isn't. The chemistry those 4 girls have is magic. Their dynamic, their energy on stage, the cultural impact they've made, it's something you can't manufacture. You can debut as many new groups as you want, but you can't recreate that. And that's what makes this so frustrating. For almost 10 years, Blackpink carried YG on their backs. They broke records, sold out stadiums, and helped define an era of K-pop. And yet, here we are, watching them get treated like a second thought the moment they reach the peak of their solo success. I want to be wrong about all of this. Seriously, I'd love for this tour to be a huge surprise, packed with new music, incredible visuals, and a clear plan for the future. I want to see them stay together because they want to, not because they're forced to. But at the same time, it's getting harder to ignore what's happening. The silence, the rushed rollout, the new girl group. It's all painting a picture that feels familiar and in the worst way. No matter what happens next, there will never be another group quite like Blackpink. And I hope, whatever direction they choose, it's on their terms, because they deserve nothing less.